Hello beautiful and welcome back to my channel and welcome to this week's new makeup releases where we are going to chat about all the makeup that's been released, announced and sneak peeked throughout this week. Every Friday I come back and I let you know about all the new makeup releases. I let you know whether or not I want to pick them up or if I already did, and then you let me know in the comments whether or not you want to pick them up. And it's okay if we disagree. Friends don't always agree with each other, but friends are always respectful to each other. And if you haven't been here before, if this is your first video, hello, my name is Angie. I am such a lover of beauty makeup. I love everything beauty makeup related. I love playing with color. I love playing with new fun makeup, but also I love discovering old favorites within my collection. I am wearing one of the new makeup releases on my eyes today, so we are gonna dive into that in just a second. But if you want to see some more color on your timeline, if you want to see some more makeup content on your timeline, don't forget to subscribe because I upload 5 videos a week. The release that I actually have on my eyes is the new Opal palette by BH Cosmetics. This is actually a really pretty pastel palette and I am wearing all of the shades on my eyes today, including the glitter shade as a little liner thing here. This shade here is a pink, like a duochrome moment. I bought this myself. I bought it at BH Cosmetics Germany. It's also sold at BH Cosmetics US. I will leave it down below. These palettes, the Birthstone palettes, they release on the 1st of every month and I've been reviewing them all. So this is the 10th palette of these I'm reviewing. Isn't that crazy? But yeah, if you're interested in the Birthstone palettes, I have reviewed all of them, including this one. That video was up yesterday on my channel. I will leave a link to that down below in the pinned comment. I will also leave the things that are on my face in case you're interested in any of these items. But yeah, the look was live yesterday and I will leave a link to that down below, including where you can get this palette in case you're interested. I am a very big fan of BH Cosmetics and I have to say, it's been so fun reviewing these palettes throughout this year because I don't know, it's fun to have something to look forward that's being released on the 1st of every month. So I brought some coffee because because I hadn't had lunch yet. So this is like second breakfast. Can you call your third cup of coffee a second breakfast? Asking for a friend. Okay, we are gonna scoochy so that I can get in coffee everywhere, so I can get into the news. The poor cactus back here, I know he's low on battery. I'm always failing at this. Listen, when I move, I'm gonna get me one of these like neon things that has a cord to it. No more batteries. I'm getting a cord. Okay, let me scoochy. This thing was the only thing, well, it's not nothing. It's a really fun one that I actually have here with me. Am I in frame? Am I on the side? Yes and yes. Let's do this. Okay. I want to talk about the thing that I bought because I bought one thing. That's not true. I bought two things, but I don't think anyone is surprised by me buying any of this, and I want to start with the Lunar Beauty by Many MUA's Moonspell Volume 2. This is the holiday release or the Halloween release because Manny did say on his Instagram that he said like, if you thought that this was the last release of 2021, think again, something like that. And I was like, my ears perked up and I'm like, tell me more. So I think he's aiming to release something more, but this is like the Halloween release. This is the sister palette to the Moonspell 1, which I own. I do have a video on my channel where I do 3 World of Warcraft inspired looks with that palette. Yes, it's very random, it's very weird, I'm aware of it, but I just looked at the colors and I was like, this is very fell magic. If you know, you know. So this second palette, I am gonna be honest with you, I bought this palette about 20 seconds into his video. I have 2 screens where I edit my video. Usually I have YouTube on one screen and I either edit or play games on the other one. Here I was ordering his palette on one screen and I was watching him on the other, so I was very excited. I bought the palette and I bought the 3 lippies. There are 2 glosses and there is an orange liquid lipstick. It is orange. I cannot be held responsible. I just saw orange and I saw add card. So I bought the lippies. I didn't buy the brush set because I have so many brushes. I've heard his brushes are great. Grammar out the window. But I can't. I have so many brushes, and the thing is that there's one thing that like having brushes and not like still being on the lookout for new good brushes, but I have so many brushes that I love, so it'd be just stupid for me to add even more brushes. I just literally do not need that in the slightest. The palette is something that I love, which is a purple and a red, and there's a mix of pink in there, and there's black. I am excited. I am very excited. I think I'm gonna do one of my 2 look swatches, give my thoughts kind of a thing ordeal. but I'm very excited. I think it all looks very pretty. Congratulations, Manny, on releasing something uber pretty. I am very excited to be trying it out. My order has shipped. So as soon as I have it, I'll do something. I don't know how long it's gonna take. It did say that when it sells out, but I will still be making a video even if it sells out before I get mine, because who cares? I bought the palette, I want to showcase it. I think it's beautiful. The other thing that I bought, I did link this, let me think. I did link this on my community tab. Don't forget to check in on my community tab. I also linked it on my Instagram because Beauty Bay, just out of the blue, released this, I think it's called Opulence? Wait, I don't want to lie. At least not like knowingly. Age of Opulence. I think this is their holiday palette. They released a palette, some pigments, I think lipsticks. I didn't buy any of that. I bought the palette. And the main reason why I bought this palette is because, first of all, you seem to really love Beauty Bay shadows. So I want to show you the things that you're interested in. And also, I think that this looks very, very similar to the Book of Magic palette that I had last year, which was it was like a blip. It came, it conquered, and then it disappeared. Everyone was loving it, and then they never restocked it. I have heard whispers in the corridors that they are gonna restock the Wilderness palette. It is still up on their site. They did actually update the pictures on their site. They actually asked if they could use one of my pictures, and I was very honored by that. So I don't think that they would go through the trouble of updating the listing on their site if they didn't mean to restock it. So I do think that they have changed their mind about the Wilderness palette. I do think they're going to restock it. I will let you know as soon as I know, both on my community tab and on my Instagram, if you were interested in picking that palette up. This Age of Opulence, it is smaller than the Book of Magics, if I'm not totally mistaken. I will compare them. I am getting this palette. This palette has also been shipped to me. So yeah, I'll do something about that as well, because I'd like to show you, like, if you missed out on the Book of Magic, will this, like, you know, will this satisfy your sweet tooth? Ugh, that sounded better in my head than when it came out. But yeah, I just want to, you know, test it out and let you know what I think about it. I like the Beauty Bay mattes a lot. They don't layer that good though, so for me, I get really cool, extravagant looks when I start with the darkest and blend out with the lightest. If you do that, the mattes are absolutely incredible. If you layer them, like if you start layering one on top of the other, I don't think they work as good. Personal preference, some do, some don't. The shimmers are beautiful, but on me, they do crease over time. They are like that putty formula, but it doesn't 100% set down like I feel like some other formulas do. So it's not my absolute favorite formula, but I do think it's a really good formula. And I am intrigued by this palette. I especially love that dark, like matte berry shade in the corner. I think it is called Dandy. I'm gonna need that on my eye right now. Okay, not right now, but as soon as it gets here. Colourpop, let's get into the weekly Colourpop segment. Colourpop has released something that I am extremely interested in, and I will most definitely pick this up next time I do a Colourpop order, which is not, I don't see a Colourpop order in my near future, but when I do, I will be buying this new Party Proof, I thought it said Party Pooper, oh my god, Party Proof eye primer. That is available in 3 shades. It is a translucent, a light one, and a deep one. The light one is, I think it's called Caramel, so it has more of a yellowy tone, and then there is one like, I think I will be buying the 2 lightest shades and just see which one fits me. I am extremely intrigued by this, and I am surprised that it took Colourpop this long to release something as an eye primer, because I feel like that is something that would have benefited them a bit earlier. It is available, right? Yeah, it is available as you're watching this, and they're also releasing this big palette, which I'm not getting because I tried the big palette from BH Cosmetics, the Doja Cat. I did do a video on that. I still am not in love with super big palettes. I do think that this is pretty though. I think that this is a very good palette. If you like neutrals and if you just want to have pops of colors now and then, I feel like all of these like jewel tone palettes, what is this called? This is called Play It Jewel. Play It Jewel. It's a 30-pound palette. I think that all these shades go together. I think it's a really pretty palette. Honestly, for me, I would have just liked the 12-pound with the colorful shades. That I would have been interested in. But I get the appeal of this like big palette with all the neutrals and then just some pops of jewels, and not just one pop, but actually more pops. I get it. I also like that they're not just shimmery jewel tone, but actually a couple of matte ones as well. I don't hate this. It's definitely not for me though, but I totally understand who this is for. That I get. that person just isn't me. Oh, we're gonna talk about this one. There's another Beauty Bay palette as well. This one I did, I think I put this at the end of the episode last week, because this is the new collaboration between Beauty Bay and Jade Thirlwall. Am I saying that correctly? I'm so sorry. She's one of the members of the Little Mix. I feel so old. I am giving big boomer energy right now, but I don't 100% know what music Little Mix is doing, but I'm sure if I heard it, I'd be like, oh, okay, that group, like those songs. But I don't 100% know, and I feel the same about this palette as I feel about the palette from Colourpop. It is a very, very big palette. I'm trying to stay clear of these unless it's brands that I know you're very interested in, and I do know that you're interested in the Beauty Bay formula and in Colourpop, because those videos usually do good on my channel, which shows that that is something that you would like to see, something that you would like to click on. But I will say this is just a little too big on the heels of that really big palette that I bought from BH Cosmetics, plus I just bought the other Beauty Bay palettes. I just don't want to buy two back to back like that. If you don't own any eyeshadows, I feel like this is, again, this is warm, cool, grungy, some pop, some mints in there. I feel like this is a good mix of like colorful shades, mattes, shimmers, light, dark, but when I see this palette and when I see the Beauty Bay palette, and if I'm gonna be honest, when I see that BH Cosmetics Doja Cat palette as well, all I can think of is like, edit yourself. Like, you don't need this many oranges, you don't need this many browns. But I'm gonna be honest, sometimes when I look at a palette, I'm like, oh, I wish there was an orange that was a little bit more on the yellow side. Or maybe when you see brown palettes, you're like, oh, I wish there was a brown here that was a little bit more neutral. This one feels a little bit too warm. But it's not that hard to make a palette with 50 shades because you get to pick everything. What's really hard is to make a palette that has less shades, and the less shades that are in there, the harder it gets, because then you really have to edit yourself and you have to think about like, how can this shadow that I'm putting in here complement all of these other ones? This can't just be a one-trick pony shade. It has to work with all of the other shades. And when you have a big palette like this, you can literally put in a pastel mint and be like, it doesn't matter if it fits with just one shade, because it's fine, because I have, what is it, 38 other ones. And I feel like that is the whole meaning, what I mean when I say edit yourself, that sometimes with these big things, it's playing it a little bit safe because you get to include everything. And I just feel like it gets a little too big for my liking. I know some people look at this and they're like, this is my dream palette. And if you have like a friend or someone around you that loves Little Mix and maybe wouldn't just buy eyeshadow palettes, this is a great gift. Like, what a great gift for someone that's a fan of this collaborator, that might not buy a lot of makeup for themselves, because By Beauty Bay is not a very expensive brand. I feel like for that reason, it's a great gift. HipDot is out here doing the absolute most, and I don't know, there's been some sort of a race towards the most ridiculous collabs ever in 2021, and I'm not sure how I feel about it, because now we have this one. Didn't they just have that Play-Doh palette? And then 2 weeks later, like, never mind that, now we're doing Addams Family. Like, it just becomes so disingenuous. Like, here's the thing. I understand brands that want to do collabs with things that are a little bit... I love that. Listen, if you're a fan of the Addams Family, this is amazing. But sometimes with, like, HipDot, Makeup Revolution, Colourpop as well, to be honest, collabs just feel like... it's nothing special anymore. Before, I remember like 3 years ago, a collab with a franchise or collab with something. Imagine if a collab with the Addams Family came out in 2018. People would lose their minds. Wow, that's so cool, that's so innovative. But because we see these collabs back to back to back to back to back, because we see these collabs every week, there is collabs. I just talked about a collab, and now there's a collab with a franchise, and the other one was a collab. And here's the thing, I've done collabs myself. I totally understand, but they're not that special anymore, and especially the ones with franchises. Like, who cares about an Addams Family collab when we already had every like thing you can think about under the sun? Everything every Disney thing that's ever been invented, the Care Bears and family board games and just everything. If you just put the Addams Family there on like the last board on the very wobbly Jenga tower, it's just like, we do not care. We don't care. I don't think that this is ugly. The packaging, the PR box is very Kat Von D 2018. Is that 2018? 2019? I want to say 2018. It's very Addams Family, but I can't be impressed. I can't be impressed. It's gonna have to be literally coming out with like theme music playing in the background, lights twinkling, and actually like being handed over by Lurch for me to be impressed by something like this at this point. I think I'm jaded. I think everyone's a little bit jaded by the franchises. And I'm gonna be honest, also with the makeup collabs with people that are not known for the makeup. Which I do think, and I don't mean the Jade Thirlwall, I looked at her Instagram, she has a lot of really cool makeup looks, so I honestly think that she might actually be known for her really cool makeup looks as well, on part of being an artist. There is 2 new collections by Kiko Milano that are already available. I saw these on their website and I see now that the makeup counts are showing it as well. One of them is that they are releasing new 9-pan palettes. Kiko Milano usually does really big limited edition collections, and I don't think that these palettes are limited edition. I think this is adding to their permanent range. If I'm gonna be totally honest, they don't have special packaging, and I don't think that this is a limited edition release. Usually, when last time they released eyeshadow palettes like this, I think they're still in the range. One is a little bit greeny teal, there's one like neutral warm, berry mauve, blue cool tone neutrals, one that is like a neutrals with some burgundies, and then one that is just a brown palette. I don't think that these are bad palettes. From the palettes that I have tried from Kiko Milano, because I have used some Kiko Milano eyeshadows, I actually think that their eyeshadows are quite dope. I've heard when I have reviewed Kiko Milano that a lot of you have been saying that you have not been enjoying their eyeshadows, and that makes me think that maybe they have been overhauling their formula, or that they are doing different formulas for different collections. So I'm hoping that this is the good formula, because some of these look really good. It looks like they're going to be pressed glitters, but they're actually those kind of marbled metallic shades, so I don't think that this is a bad idea. Kiko Milano is a very affordable Italian drugstore brand, affordable in Europe at least, and they do have a US site as well. These might come to Ulta. I will link down below where you'll be able to find them, and I will also link their US site, because you can buy from Kiko Milano from their US site and get it shipped. I'm pretty sure they have a US warehouse. And if you're in Europe, of course, you can buy from their Italian site. And if you're in EU, there are no customs. There are new holiday sets coming out. I wanted to talk about a couple of them. I did mention last week that I was planning to film a holiday sets that I think are good, holiday sets that I think are worth the money, and I have filmed that, and I'm planning to have that up next week. So just so you know, that is already filmed. I'm now mentioning a couple that I didn't see for that, not that I necessarily think that they're like super spectacular, but I thought I mentioned them. One of them is the One Size by Patrick Starr. He is releasing, I think it's 3 different sets. I think honestly, I've heard about this before, that if you are at Sephora, there's a couple of things within your like Sephora contract that you have to do, and one of them is that you have to have some kind of a gift thing, like something for holidays. I'm guessing this is his thing. There is one set with a primer, a setting spray, and a powder in mini sizes. I think that's what I see here. That is pretty cool. I think that's a great set. If you wanted to try out the brand, isn't that a great thing? Mini powder, mini setting spray, mini primer. That's a great set. And also, there are 2 sets with a liquid liner, which I think is his liquid liner, and then 2 quads that I think are holiday exclusive. One brown and one brown. One is more peachy brown, one is more neutral brown. These are not for me. His entire brand is more the Instagram glam kind of a look, which is not exactly what I go for. I like color, I like dramatic makeup, even though I'm wearing this past moment. It's not exactly what I go for, but I do think that set with like the setting powder, the setting spray, and the primer is pretty okay. $42 for 3 queens? 3 queens. Primer, powder, setting spray. Okay. I don't think that that is a horrible way to try his brand. A lot of these sets are just a really good way to try the brand. There are also some sets from Fenty that I thought I want to mention. Last year they had this amazing set, which was a mini diamond glow highlighter and a full-size cream blush and a full-size gloss, and all of them was in Fenty Glow. I don't even think she has released the cream blush and the highlighter in those colors that were exclusive for the set. I love that. I still have them. Oh my god, they're so good. This year she's doing a little bit different. There is a set with a cream gloss and a cream blush in the peachy shade. I don't know if these are like limited editions colors for the set or if these are existing colors. And then there's one with a mini primer, a highlighter, and a like one of her fly liners. These look like nice sets. Again, these are also great giftable sets if you have someone that likes makeup but maybe doesn't buy that much makeup. Both of these sets are like really good gifting sets, if I'm gonna be honest. And the same with that One Size by Patrick Starr. If you have someone in your life that you know uses makeup but doesn't buy that much makeup, and you know likes more the neutral makeup, buying that like neutral quad with a liner, I mean, that's a great set to give to someone. Even though it's not for me, I can totally appreciate like that it's a good set. Fenty also has this set with 4 glosses. There is 1 full-size gloss and 3 mini glosses. And I'm pretty sure that 3 of the shades are new shades. And one is a Universal Lip Luminizers Fenty Glow Fantasy, Hot Chocolate Fantasy, Champ Stamp Fantasy, and plus a full-size gloss in a new shade of Candy Milk. Okay, so the other one, Champ Stamp, okay, so maybe it's only 1 new shade. This is not that affordable. It's $38. I think it's like paying for 2 full-size glosses and you get 3 minis and a full-size. This is a good set if you know you love this formula, or if you want to break it up and give away maybe the minis and save the big one for you. Usually these limited edition shades does make it into her permanent range with time, but I thought I'd let you know in case you were interested. I mean, I know of people that buy these sets every year, even though for me buying 4 glosses at the same time seems a little bit staggering, but I totally understand who it is for. This is another one. I saw this at Sephora Sweden and now I see it at Trend Mood and basically says like available now in Europe. Yeah, it's available in Sweden. This is the mini Glam. It's 3 shades from the Glam palette, and there's also a mini Biba. It's sold in like one of the Sephora calendars. I really hope that she will continue these trios. Natasha Denona trios, I hope that that becomes a thing. I mean, I don't need this. There's a reason why I saw this on the website and left it. And it's because it's 3 beiges. I don't need that. But again, what an awesome gift. What an awesome gift. This mini one isn't that expensive. I mean, if you have a workplace where, or you like Secret Santa for someone again that loves neutral eyeshadow, what a great little gift for someone like a mini Glam palette. So for that reason, I think it's an amazing set, but I most definitely don't need it. But I thought it was cute when I saw it. I'm not picking it up for myself. I also mentioned this, no, this I also put in my community tab, and this is the new Halloween palettes and Halloween collection by BH Cosmetics. It's called Poison Shock. Poison Shock. English, really hard. This is eyeshadow palettes, highlighter palette, I think it's some like liquid shadows, I think there's a gloss and a brush set and a bunch of different things. I looked at this and I decided to not pick any of this up because it is monochromatic palettes and I love the BH Cosmetics quality, but I already have the ice cream palettes, the ice cream shop palettes, and I don't think I will need this. And also, this is, if I'm not totally mistaken, 6 shimmers and 3 mattes. And I am more a lover of mattes than shimmers, so personally, I like the Say It collection a lot more than I like this collection. The Say It collection was palettes that was a color story. They were not monochromatic. They had 1 or 2 or 3 colors within the palette, and they were a better, according to me, mix of shimmers and mattes. That collection was amazing, and I preferred those 9 pans over this one. That's why I didn't pick it up. But I will say that monochromatic blue one and the monochromatic green one, they look really pretty. I think that the thing that made me opt out is that I saw that it was 6 shimmers and 3 mattes, and I was like, no, I think I'm gonna opt out. Let's talk about some indie releases. Do I have any of the mainstream things I want to talk about before we get into some indie? Maybe I can mention that Lorac has released some palettes as well. They say these are 4 different palettes, but I'm gonna be honest, these are so similar. You're gonna have to really love neutrals to see that these 3 mini palettes are needed. If you love neutrals, again, what a great little 6-pan. That big one just seems like it has a lot of very similar brown shimmers. This isn't for me. It isn't made for me. It looks really boring. I'm happy to see though that 6-pans are making a comeback. I feel like I don't want to be hard on Lorac because I do think that there's nothing wrong with having a brand that's built around neutrals. There's a lot of brands that have that and there's nothing wrong with that. But they keep releasing eyeshadow palettes. They did a re-release of the brand. Like new packaging and I think new formula, like reformulation of the brand. And they release, how many palettes do they have now? 7, 8, 9? And they're all very similar. There's nothing wrong with being a neutral brand, but you don't need 9 neutral eyeshadow palettes. No brand needs that. No brand needs that. And that is my not so very humble opinion. There's nothing wrong with a neutral olivey green with a mix of some neutral, like mix it up. You don't have to have 9 brown eyeshadow palettes. Like that is the part that I don't understand. I simply cannot grasp why that was needed. Oh, do we need to talk about the Too Faced as well? Okay, Too Faced has announced their holiday collection. I'm just putting up a little collage here. Listen, if you've seen one, you've seen them all. All of these things look so similar to whatever Too Faced has been releasing in their holiday collections the past 5 years at least. It is dusty neutrals with pinks and a pop of turquoise. It is very Too Faced holiday in an extremely predictable and generic way. I've also heard that these are not the same quality as Too Faced normally is. The only thing I think is cute is the bronzer that is like the cup of chocolate with the whipped cream, and then there is a milk chocolate lip gloss. That set is beautiful. Again, that would make a beautiful gift. It must sell. It must sell incredibly good for them to do the pretty much exact same collection again and again and again. It must be so successful because I can't fathom. And again, these holiday collections, they're not made for me. Most of them are made as gifts to give to someone or for collectors, and I am neither. I buy so much makeup that I mean, let's be honest, it loses a little bit of its like, oh my god, a new palette, like that gets lost in the mix. I just can't be excited by seeing the same thing again and again. And don't get me wrong, I saw the Lunar Beauty palette and I was like, oh my god, that's so cute, I need to have it. I totally felt that way. So I'm not immune, but I think I am immune to holiday collections. I think I am immune to that. Ooh, let's talk about indie. This is the new palette from Game Beauty. It's called Harbinger palette, and Game Beauty is a gaming inspired makeup company. They do really fun palettes. They've come out with 3 eyeshadow palettes. I'm guessing this is the 4th one. It looks like an end boss in a game, and it makes me want to play World of Warcraft. It looks really cool. The color scheme seems to be a bit more reddish, because the other palette was like more of a dark brown with teals, which was really nice. This seems like it could have some red, maybe yellow. I'm intrigued. I do have a code with Game Beauty. I think my code is Angelica. You will get 10% off. It is an affiliated code. I will leave it down below. I'm not 100% sure when this is releasing. But yeah, I will keep you updated on this one. If you're interested, like I said, do use the code to get 10% off. You don't have to use mine, of course. You can use if you find another one. If I get this in PR, I will definitely try it. I might even buy it myself if I don't get it in PR, depending on the color scheme, because I love gaming inspired makeup. I'm actually raiding tonight. And I am very excited. Here's another indie makeup. This is from Alien Cosmetics. This is Witching Hour. I think she has sneak peeked some orangey colors in this palette. You know how I feel about orange. I love all colors. Mostly I love orange lippies and blushes, but I do love me some orange eyeshadows as well. So I do think there's going to be some orange colors in this one. I think this is her Halloween release, and I think it's really pretty. I do have a code with Alien Cosmetics as well. It is also on Agnieszka. I will leave that. I leave all my codes and info and everything in the description box. If you're ever wondering about anything, just check the description box. I am the queen of description boxes. I always fill them out to the brim, but I really like Alien Cosmetics. I like the brand, the aesthetics, I like the formulas, I like the packagings, I like that she hires like artists to create the packagings for her, and I really like the owner. She's super sweet, she is Latina and she is a mom, so if you want to be supporting a Latina mom, definitely check out this brand. I think it's really a good brand. Okay, what do I want to talk about? Oh, did I forget to talk about the other Kiko collection? I'm like, there's 2 things from Kiko. Have you been screaming at the screen for me forgetting about Kiko? I'm sorry. Here's the other collection from Kiko. This is the Precious Rituals collection. I like the packaging with the wooden packaging, but I looked at this collection and it is... nothing really stood out to me as something that I wanted. It's very muted. If you like muted makeup, maybe this is for you. Again, Kiko usually has really nice packagings when it's limited edition collections, and the quality of the makeup is really good and it's pretty affordable. So I will link this down below. For me, I looked at it and I was like, I like the packaging, but there was nothing in this collection that I was like, really intrigued by. I'm sorry I forgot to talk about that before. I forgot. There's a new face polish by Fenty Beauty. Fenty Beauty is the sister brand to Colourpop. It's like the skincare brand. This face polish, I have one of these face polishes. I really like mine. It is pretty gritty. It is a sugar scrub. It's pretty gritty. I don't have sensitive skin and I don't feel like I don't get red afterwards. I really like this scrub about once a week. I don't use it right now because I am using exclusively the Juvia skincare. But before that, I used it about once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, just to polish my face a little bit. Other than that, I like using some chemical exfoliants as well. Again, I don't use a lot of exfoliators. I know it's so popular right now to use exfoliators, but I don't use it that much because I don't feel like I need it that much. I try to be kind to my skin, if I'm gonna be honest, but I do think that this is a really nice product if you like like a physical exfoliator every now and then. I do think that this is a pretty good product, and I'm guessing this is like a limited edition fall edition, and it's very affordable. I have the one with watermelon. It smells really nice. I like when things are fragrant, and if you're gonna pick something that's to be fragrant, let it be something that you have on your face just a small amount of time and then wash off, like cleansers or like polishes like this that you will take off your skin. Nabla is releasing a concealer on the 13th. This is a concealer that's called Regeneration Uplifting Creamy Concealer. This is creamy, flexible, medium buildable coverage all day without settling into line. Perfect for touch-up. This is a twist pen packaging. I kind of like that. I had the feeling from the promo pictures that they were releasing that this is like a skincare infused kind of a concealer. I think I will be trying this. Usually they release at Beauty Bay at the same time as they release on their website, so I'll probably pick this up on a order from Beauty Bay and I'll let you know how I feel about it. I think it looks really promising. It looks like it's going to be the same packaging as this kind of this is the Charlotte Tilbury concealer that I'm wearing today. You know, it has the poofy. Yes, I said poofy. Although this one is a little hard to open. I'm not 100% sure why, but that is the life we are living. Let me actually mention this one as well. There is a palette coming soon, and this is the Silent Night palette from Glaminatrix Cosmetics. Just so you know, this is a digitally rendered like palette. This is not exactly how it's gonna look. It's just showing you a little bit how the color scheme is gonna be and how the packaging is gonna be. This is a Christmas themed palette. If you're a big fan of Christmas and you like getting something that's actually Christmas themed, I think this is a really beautiful palette. It has mattes, shimmers, goes from light to dark. I think it's really pretty, and Glaminatrix has an amazing formula. This is gonna be 65 Australian dollars, and it is, when is this coming? I can't see when it's coming here, but I will try and do some research and see if I can put some info about that down in the description box. I do think it looks really pretty, and I really like the Glaminatrix formula. They have a really good formula. Even if you didn't want to like tried this palette, maybe there's something else you would like from them, and I vouch for their formula. If there's any late releases, I will put them here on the side. I'm not 100% sure if something's gonna be announced. Sometimes things are announced between me filming this on Thursday and me editing this on Friday, so if there's anything, I will put it here, and I will also put some info about that down below. I think that was everything for this episode. I am really in need of some lunch. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for always being so sweet and supportive. You are truly a very kind group of people, and I'm so happy that you have found your way to my channel. If you aren't subscribed yet, I would love to see you subscribed. I do have, like I said, a couple of videos planned. I will do the best, according to me, gift sets that I have seen for holiday. It's coming next week, and I also filmed the video about the Ace Beauty reformulation. That's also coming next week. Plus I have the palette coming from Lunar Beauty and the palette from Beauty Bay coming. So yeah. Oh, and the rankings. I think I'm gonna have that next week as well. Oh, that's already 3 videos. How very optimistic of me. But yeah, I hope you're having the most amazing Friday. I hope your weekend's gonna be super amazing, and I will see you again on Monday for a new video. Bye!